Like it's that dinner.
Hello and welcome to Conversating, Conversing, and Relating. I'm your co-host, April Autumn Sparks.
And I'm Coach Hughes.
With the fake drink.
With the fake drink. Ain't nothing in there. I might have something in mine.
Yes, don't do that. Don't do that.
It's water.
I mean, it's nothing in my cup. Like absolutely nothing. I was like, I'm missing something.
You got it there for aesthetics.
Fake drink.
All right, so I know this looks a little bit different, and it looks a little bit different.
But, natural.
Yeah, listen. We're gonna do it like this for a reason. What's our reason?
Self-care isn't selfish. It is self-preservation. And that's what we're doing today. I've been sick.
You have been sick?
Yeah, I had COVID.
Yeah.
COVID. I don't know.
You tested negative.
I don't believe that test. I did not, because everything that was going on was COVID.
Fake result. So
it was, I'm like,
like a Donald Trumper. I don't believe the result.
Yo, I'm sorry. But yeah, the test was, I don't feel accurate, because my body was like, yay, no. Right? And so I was fevery. I was, I don't know, hot, cold. See, self-care.
Yeah. Self-care is, I was taking care of you.
You were taking care of me. You were.
Super good job.
So that's why we weren't here last week, because I was sick. Yeah. I was like big time sick. Like really. And for those of you who had sessions with us on Friday, like I was still like, so it was evident.
It was very evident.
And on Saturday.
Yeah, you were pretty much out of there for the weekend.
Yeah. So this is
a
like
little bit today.
Yeah, this is the bounce. This is the bounce back. So
And so today we're doing a little bit different, because again, we are self-care. And so normally we would be on here, we'd be live, we'd be doing our show, we'd be a lot more dressed up, put together.
Looking real cute. But as Kimberly would say,
yeah,
you look cute regardless. No self-deprecation. Hey, Kim.
Yeah.
Hey, girl.
Yeah. And this is a part of self-care, learning when to say no. We talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
In our first series, or in the first part of this series, we talked about learning to say no.
Yeah.
And so we got to learn to say no sometimes, even if it is important stuff like podcasts and things like that.
School, work.
Yeah. People, famous artists, not saying we're famous, but famous people have canceled concert shows and stuff like that due to illnesses and so forth, or just not being as prepared as they want to be to give a good show. And that's kind of where we're at right now. We're doing a little bit of transitioning.
Yeah, we got a lot going on. That's part of it. Like we have a lot going on.
I just turned in my final paper from my second class today. Yes, I'm in school. If I had a bow tie, I would straighten it up for you.
Right.
But you had that. Then you got next week is all school for you.
Wednesday
and clients.
through Sunday.
Yeah. That doctoral program is no joke.
It is. But we are claiming that this year, by this time next year, I will be done.
Yeah.
And I will be Dr. Hughes.
Dr. Hughes. And then I'll be right behind you, not too far.
Yeah.
A couple years behind, but still not behind, not too far. So we'll have two Dr. Hugheses.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like we have all this stuff going on. We have the school, then we have the transition that we're doing. Then we got this podcast, and it's just
loving out loud.
Yeah, putting that together. And so
the women's retreat.
Yeah, you just started that one.
Women's retreat. Queendom is still going on.
Yeah.
Smoke, drink, vibe is still going on.
I was able to do that show on Friday with my sister. That was a good show.
It was an amazing show. Shout out to The Voice.
She did her thing. She did her thing.
She did. Then there's Turo going on.
Yeah, we have Turo, and we have we're putting together the we're still working on some other business ventures that we have. So
Right.
it's a lot of stuff going on. We're multitasking. We're moving as a unit.
We are
moving as a unit.
It's a little overwhelming.
It is overwhelming, but as long as we continue to hit each task by itself or collectively, we still move as a unit. So we've been doing pretty good. We made some money.
We did, which is always
that's always good. I'm not saying we don't make any money, but we made some other money that wasn't anticipated being made.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, that was very great.
Right.
And for the most part, everything is going pretty decent.
Right.
Right.
However,
right.
One of the things that we know is because we go so hard, like, I don't like saying this, but I'll say it, balls to the walls.
Balls to the wall.
We go. Like when we go, we go.
Balls to the walls.
Really? See, that's why I didn't want to say it, because I knew you were going to go there. Give you an inch and you're going to take them out.
All right.
But when we are on, we are on. And one of the things that I've been trying to get back into the practice of is, and I talk to my clients a lot about this, you do too, where you put in times where you are taking care of yourself. So I used to really focus on having a daily routine where I take care of myself, then a weekly routine, a monthly routine, a quarterly routine, a 6-month routine, and then a yearly routine. And some people would be like, girl, that's a lot of things. It's actually not. Like the daily thing could be like, I take 15 minutes to just meditate or do breathing exercises to decompress from all of the things from the day.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Or go for a mindful walk. And like we have nice like little woods around here.
Yeah, we got good scenery.
Like that. And really
scenery.
Be mindful and look around, look at the birds and pay attention. Turn your phone over. That's one that some people don't do very well.
Yeah.
Okay. Making sure we try at least one day a week to sleep in late, because we typically, because we're in Central Standard Time and most of our clients start at 8 a.m., which is our 7 a.m. So we get up at 6 o'clock. Yeah. And then this week it's going to be 4:30, 5 o'clock, because we're going to go for a walk. In the morning. So it's really like taking that time to like back up and then like take care of you. Self-care is not selfish.
No.
We've been taught that for some weird reason, that we got to take care of everybody else.
I think that's, and not to cut you off, I'm so sorry, but I think that what just dawned on me when you said that is, when you said we've been taught that, I think Black folk have mainly been taught that, because I see white folk taking all kinds of vacations, and I think it ain't nothing but Black folk and Hispanics and Mexicans that have been taught that self-care, people of color, right? That just self-care is not for you. If you're not white, self-care is not for you. And I'm not saying that's what's being said. I'm just saying, ironically, that that's kind of how that popped in my mind. Like, we just now started getting passports and taking trips.
Right. That's the optics.
Yeah.
Right. For a very, very long time. Oh, we're not going to therapy. You crazy if you go to therapy.
Yeah.
Right?
You must got issues.
You have issues.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? As we have a past that is, we have lots of trauma in our past, generational trauma, right? And so it is things that are wrong that could be righted, that we've said in our past. So why not like unravel them in therapy? That makes sense. But we only like connect that to being crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Not necessarily just talking something out.
Right.
So, yeah. So this time, I think for us, modeling self-care.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what that looks like.
Yeah, we gotta lead by example.
Yeah.
And we love doing this show. I love doing, you know, my show. You love doing your show.
Yeah.
And all of our shows are, you know, something we love doing, whether we have one person in the audience or, you know, 50 people in the audience.
Right.
But, you know, we have all authentic subscribers, And, we make an impact. We try to make an impact regardless. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so with that said, even when you love doing something and you're doing it with a purpose, besides the financial reward in mind, right, you still got to learn to tell yourself no. You still got to give yourself time to reset. Mm-hmm. You still got to give yourself time for you. Yeah. You still got to do the stuff that not only, I guess, you got to do the stuff that allowed to get you here, but also kept you focused while you were here. And it wasn't always the hunger. It wasn't always the drive. It was the fact of saying, I got to take a break, or I got to pace myself, or I got to do something to where any smart person would know, if you're trying to do this long term and you want to do this long term, then you can't just go all the time. You know what I mean?
Right. We are taught grind mode. Yeah. We taught grind mode. We can grind. We can grind. In that grind, we don't necessarily take care of ourselves. That's why we end up sick and stressed out and
looking older than the time, all that stuff.
Yeah. And so having this time where you reset, you renew, you rejuvenate, even if it's small incremental times. I remember I was doing Queendom not too long ago, and I was, one of the people in the room said something like, because I was like, you just basically told me that out of 24 hours, you don't have 5 minutes for yourself, right? And they were like, well, what is 5 minutes going to do? And 5 minutes can start your practice of taking care of yourself. Because if you do nothing and you continue to do nothing, you're not even starting with 5 minutes. Yeah. You're doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah, you just there.
Yeah. I think starting a practice and figuring out what that looks like for you and on a daily basis, at least, like taking out 5 minutes. Right. 5 minutes. My favorite one was, I'm just going to sit here and look stupid and not think of anything. I'm just going to clear my mind. That is so super hard.
Yeah.
Because you can think about, what do I need to get from the grocery store? I need to fix that. Oh yeah, I need to email that person. It's like a bajillion things you could be thinking about, but to really sit quietly
and just be. Yeah.
Oh, that felt so good. Oh my gosh.
Listen, I definitely understand, because again, we saw our parents do it, and we saw uncles and aunties do it, and it took away from everything like birthdays and time, and everything except for anniversaries. It took away from that, and so in this day and time, for us as a married couple and us as people, we got to learn to say, or we have learned to say no.
Right.
And we've been okay with saying no. So a lot of people, you say no, but you're not okay with saying no and then living on that no.
It's hard.
Yeah, it's hard because of different reasons. You feel like there's obligations. You feel like you have responsibilities or perceived responsibilities not really there. So there's a lot of reasons why the no is not just a stamp and that's it. You know what I mean? It's only when you really feel like you're tired of giving to everybody else and you don't have time for you. You've lost yourself. You don't do the fun stuff you used to do. Like, as a matter of fact, I think bowling for me starts on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
you should go. I hope you're going. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going. Yeah.
Even with your hand.
Yeah, because I can cuff the ball, so it's not like I'm shooting ball. I can't play basketball, so I missed basketball season again, and I can't make the team. So I can't shoot, but I can cuff it, so I can roll it. So, But again, it's something that it's my me time. It's something for me, something that I love doing, something I grew up doing. I plan on getting my golf clubs. Taking you to the range with me so we can go hit a couple golf balls, have some drinks at the same time, and make it a whole event. But again, we have to learn to say no and be comfortable with saying no, because no is just a protection for you. it doesn't mean that you're going to fall short. And people one of our clients was like, well, what if the one time I relax my guard is that one time is when it happens? And I was like, okay, that's the equivalent of saying the one time I didn't look both ways going across the street is the one time I got hit by a car. Right? It's the same thing.
Yeah.
I didn't look both ways at one time and then I get hit by a car. So now I'm going to look both ways. But that doesn't guarantee that you're not going to get hit by a car.
Right.
Nothing guarantees what you're doing vigilantly to guarantee that guarantee.
Right.
Right. It just minimizes it we all have car insurance. We have a substantial amount of car insurance, but we all have car insurance. And just because we have car insurance does not mean that we are guaranteed not to get hit, right? Or not to hit anything.
Especially in Houston, Texas.
So with that said, the car insurance should, but it doesn't, minimize your risk of getting hit, but it doesn't, right? And you're vigilantly driving, you're obeying all the stop signs and rules and regulations of the road, but it still doesn't protect you 100% from getting hit. No. Nobody is immune to the trials and tribulations that life throws at you. Yeah. That is just how it works, right? Even rich people, the wealthiest of wealthy people, have the simplest problems that they cannot get past because their money cannot protect them from that.
Wasn't it more money, more problems?
It is more money, more problems.
I'm like, wait.
Yeah, Biggie said that. But I don't know. Biggie may not have been able to manage his finances. I don't know. He's a young kid. But I want all the money. I ain't worried about it. But at the same time, it's like, even in the process of chasing money and chasing goals and ambitions and dreams, man, you got to. I just finished 12 weeks worth of courses. They're going to give me like a 2-week break before we start again. You know what I mean? Even they know, in order to keep this kid or this student active, not drained, not burned out, we got to have them step away.
I mean, that's why they have fall break. Right. They have winter break. Right. They have spring break. Right. They have summer break. Like really, and now, like since COVID, more universities are implementing mental health days. Yeah. Like you get so many mental health days to utilize throughout the semester. Yeah. And so it's amazing. Some jobs don't do that.
Still, it's not caught on everywhere.
They need to. There's sick day. Some people have like really strict sick day policies, but for me, I don't want it to be a sick day that I take my mental health day. I want it to be a wellness day. Right. Encouraging wellness and wholeness and supporting me being holistically well in every way. Yeah. So what would support that? That might be like just stepping away from my computer screen. How about that?
Watching some TV. What's the last show that you watched and sat there and just had for? What's the movie that you wish you could watch again so you can make sure you understood the meaning when you were watching it as a kid or a teenager? Like, I've gone back and I've started watching so many movies. I'm watching sitcoms I haven't watched before. I didn't catch all of the Jamie Foxx show.
I didn't either.
I knew it was funny, but I didn't know it was that funny because growing up, I didn't watch the Jamie Foxx show. But now I'm going back and watching the Jamie Foxx show, and it is one of the best things Netflix has. Went through and watched the Martin season. You did. Not fully done with it, but I'm at the season where they start having real life difficulties because of problems on the set. So I can't wait to see that and remember the nostalgia. Like, oh, that's why this and that. So, but again, wouldn't do that if I didn't say, no, this is what I'm doing today, or no, this is what we're doing today. They'll be okay. You know, we'll be able to come back. We have to reset.
Boundaries and taking care of yourself, going on vacation.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah. And that's back in rotation too, because we did 2 last year.
Yeah. And that's usually like our half a year and yearly. Like that's usually the thing. We take one at the half year mark and then one closer to the end of the year. So it's a reset. But yeah, this year has been cray.
Yeah. But I mean, everything is unraveling. That's what it is. Like when you're going to the next level, and this is what you got to understand. When you're going into the next level in life, at the beginning, it gets crazy because the method that you used and the tactics and stuff that you used to get to this particular level that you're at now, it works for this level, right? But in order to get to the next level, you got to switch it up, which means you got to go back to the drawing board. You got to do this and rearrange that and this and that. So the tactics that you use to get to one level does not always work 100% to get to the next level and the next level and so forth. You're eventually going to have to change that. One of the things you're going to have to do is understand that you got to take time for you because you're the one implementing the tactics.
And actually, like you said, to listen to you, because it's easier for you to hear you when you're not just swamped in things like up to here with all the work. Like when you kind of step away and try to open your mind and it's free from all of the other attachments that are going on daily. That's when you can listen, like, what's going on with me? How am I really feeling? How am I really connecting with me? What? All of those things. So again, listening to your body, like I should have felt me on the decline. Right. But I didn't feel it because I was so busy. Right. So my bad.
It happens. My bad. A lot of people, I think one of the things that we will touch on at a later day, but I think one of the things that goes to what you were saying about people of color just being able to go and grind, right? Not just because it was etched in our DNA and what we face with in this world, but I also think that it's what we know how to do because one, we weren't taught the other part, right? Like you said, the self-care. Excuse me. The other thing is that we do it because when it's all said and done, we want to be able to say that we've accomplished something, we've done something. And we've seen too many of our, brothers and sisters on each side of the coin that just had all this talent and didn't do anything, or had all this opportunity and didn't do anything. And didn't take the vacation like you did. And then they look at you, if they're still alive, if they look at you and like, oh, don't go on that vacation. Why are you going here? Why are you doing that? Because they need that crab in the bucket mentality. So, when we are sitting up there grinding and going for what we know, it's simply because that's literally what we know. And in our process, we have confused, this is another thing, we have confused going so hard and grinding. We've kind of intertwined that with survival. Yeah.
And what thriving looks like is something totally different.
Right. So when people think they're out here grinding and getting it in, they're really in survival mode. And then they've accomplished their goals, and they can, if they take a step back and, pick their head up, they'll see, oh, I'm further along than what I thought. I can start rearranging and coasting into some of these things instead of acting like I'm still here. Now, I get that sometimes people act like they're still in that mode because it's what got them there. It keeps them the edge and stuff like that. But you can only maintain that for so long before you start realizing that at the end of the day. Even Kevin Gates was like, I don't get tired, but I don't tire myself out on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like he says that song, he went back and said, yeah, I still don't get tired. But that's because I don't tire myself out on purpose. I'm not going without realizing that I need to have a break for me, or else I won't be able to create the juices and stuff that gives me the hits that you guys like so much. Meaning the quality of me will start to go down. Right.
I think there's so many things out there that says things like the 5 top things that people do who are successful. The 10 top things that people do that are successful. 10 ways to make $1 million before blah, 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 blah. Like all of those things. I think the thing that is often left off the list is rest.
Yeah.
I was talking to and Finding Queendom. There's something called the nap ministry.
I had just thought of something when you said rest, but I'm gonna wait.
But anyway, it's something called the nap ministry, and they said rest is resistance, and it's really talking to people of color about taking rest, taking space, and taking rest to be well and be whole and still show up.
Yeah.
That it's okay.
Yeah.
I love that. What were you going to say about rest?
Kind of like rest is resistance, but I was going to say rest should be routine.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
Rest should be routine. I mean, I think people think that, I sleep at night, so that's enough. How well do you sleep? How many hours do you get? Right? Some people don't sleep well at all.
When you start talking about me on recorded sessions.
Recorded live. Well. You've gotten better.
I sleep well.
You've gotten better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sleep well. You're lying, I sleep well.
So some people don't sleep well at all, but some people they have broken sleep. And what is that about? And, again, this is listening to you.
Yeah.
And some people just think, well, that's just who I am. I just don't sleep well. No, your body's trying to tell you something. Yeah. Listen.
Yeah.
What is it saying?
Yeah.
You're bothered by something.
Yeah.
So whether it's aches, whether it's pains, whether you need to stop drinking water at a particular time so you're not going to the bathroom all night, right. Or your body's talking to you. So what is it that your body is telling you that you need to be aware of?
And try to implement.
Right.
Because again, we'll say, some of us also are programmed to think that sleep and taking care of yourself and some of this other stuff is just some grandiose thing, and you gotta have a spa in order to relax, and it doesn't take much to just try to relax. It takes getting out of the environment or being able to escape the environment mentally and or physically. That's how people in prison who actually make a new leaf, they're able to not be imprisoned within their minds because they know they can't escape physically, so they have to be free somehow, so they be free within their minds.
Right.
And so it's if people in prison could do that, you outside of prison, I'm pretty sure you have more means to make some things happen. So
I think we talked about this, as the older that we get, the more limited we make our mind.
Yeah.
And not really having that curiosity and wonder that we had when we were 3 to 7.
Right.
That just, your mind is just open to any and all possibilities.
Yeah.
So, but really going back to that, I mean, I think one of the things that we encouraged in dating yourself is having play. Right. And what does that look like? Like skipping jump or jumping rope or skipping. I put them together.
Yeah, I was so tired. I just went with it.
Makes sense. My favorite, swinging. I haven't done that in a while. Is there swings across the street? I think there are. Yeah. Remember we would swing and then get so high that you jump out of the swing?
Oh, yeah. You see how far, who could jump the farthest?
Yeah. So those things, and they bring back this sense of wonder and nostalgia of yesteryear and kind of put you back in that place where you can open your mind a little more wide to relax and enjoy and, fight another day.
Which is what we are about to do.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So the overall message is what we're saying and what we're trying to show you by implementation of us doing it ourselves is learn to take time for yourself when it's time to take time for yourself. And for us right now, as you can see, we're not at our normal and stuff like that. And this is not a live show, and we normally do live, but we're taking time for ourselves. And it's not much time, but today it's time. So we're going to take time for ourselves. We want you guys to do the same. And we're showing you by example that it's okay to take time for yourself. And that's what this whole session is about.
if you are having some difficulties with this, and we say this a lot, on the last show, which we didn't even really touch base about anymore, we had a caller call in that needed some assistance in getting back on their journey. If you find yourself needing some assistance, feel free to reach out to us at www.theobsidianluxgroup.com. You can leave your contact information. Let us know that you would like a free consultation. We will definitely do that for you and help you get back on track. So we hope that this has helped. We want to normalize taking care of yourself, making yourself a priority, because self-care is definitely not selfish.
Self-care is definitely not selfish, and rest should be routine.
Yes.
That's a whole shirt.
It is. We might make it.
We might make it, unless somebody beats us to it. All right. We are out of here, and we're going to take that much needed rest. You guys be safe, and we'll see you next time on Conversating, Conversing, and Relating.